Those are not 305s. I normally smoke Winston Gold. Know what that is, but for all you Yankees. Does that say 305? No. Look, I've waited all day to get to the point to where the temperature is not the same as the dew point. It's been misty all day. Everything's been wet. But winter is coming to a slow close, just as I predicted. And I want to remind all of you that, like I say every time, why do you need glasses when you have a bottle? Oh, let's go for about 12 ounces. Originally, when I was in town today, because I see it every time I go to town, to the county seat or whatever, the changing culture. I was going to, and I will in the very next episode, I promise, to all my subscribers, which there have been over 50 of you, and you keep subscribing, unsubscribing, jumping back and forth. I'm down to like 15, was 17 the other day, was up to 26. You can't make your mind up because you don't know if you want to be associated with somebody who tells the unvarnished truth like me. But today, right now, in this episode, which I hope to keep under 15 minutes so it'll be an easy upload, I want to tell you something that most of the people I've had contact with lately prove that they're not actually human. They're like these subhuman animal, prostitute, crackhead, loser, Yankee, Southern California, Valley Girl. I actually heard a woman the other day that's almost 40 say "Sha" for yes. I haven't heard "Sha" since like 1988. Okay. Some asshole if you get. And I want to say I'm a little off balance right now because just as I started this video, there were several whooping cranes on my pond doing a little, especially there was a alpha male doing his croaking, and I can't approach those things, and I'm not going to spend a week setting in a bird blind on the edge of my pond just to provide you with some video. So I'm going to go back a little bit, and if you can't tell already, you see this absence, you see the spring cleaning. This is from Rebbe Kent Kruger, Texas Jew Boy Deluxe. To all those rabbis out there, especially the Hasidim, that insist on following these 613 laws to the letter, which you can't. A lot of this video is about is that God gave us at least like 400, 550 laws that are not absolute. There's only a handful that will condemn you. And I have my own people. I have, even have Christians who ask me to come to their homes and on their holidays and explain their own laws to them and the exemptions to those laws. So, please, I spend a lot of time around my own people and old rabbis who, a lot of them just talk too long, but in private, they know what I know, which is their exemptions to the law. Like, I'm not supposed to make myself bald like an Egyptian. No, and it has to do with the fact that we are no longer in the Middle East, and it revolves around a skin fat known as sebum, S-E-B-U-M. Look it up. sebum, sebaceous cyst, yada yada. Look, the only thing that pisses me off more than Christians is ultra-Orthodox Jews. I'm an Orthodox Jew, but I'm not an ultra-Orthodox Jew that thinks that they, even though they can't count the 1,000 generations of their family, please, I can only count the last 1,000 years of my Jewish family. And you assholes keep lying. Number one, you're going to hell right there. Well, it's perjury. Thou shalt not commit perjury is one of the 10 commandments. Time check. 6 minutes in. I want to stop and be sentimental because, please, from last night, yesterday, and for many more days to come, it's just been miserable here. I mean, the temperature and dew point have been about almost the same. Mist, drizzle, and my eyes, my glaucoma. Oh, geez. But I know that winter's almost over. Maybe one more hard freeze at most, and stuff like that. So I know it's time to do what I call my spring cleaning. And I violate rabbinical, Talmudic law when I do that because God's law is based on science. Rabbinical law, Talmudic law is based on a bunch of fucking hairy old homosexuals. Yeah, you gambling addict, drug addict, alcoholic, losers. I'm talking to you. Now look. My people, the Jews, left. There was the Exodus, there's the diaspora. We left the Middle East a long time ago, and we've picked up a lot of genetics along the way. That's what I want to talk about today, and with fondness. Because the only reason that I have this beautiful property, my beautiful home, my privacy, my power, is not just due to genetics, it's also because my parents were just classic Jews. My German, English Jew father and my English, Irish, Scottish, Welsh mother. I'm a direct descendant of Prince Madoc of Prince of Wales. The reason I have this beautiful space to exist in is because of them. And that's what I wanted to talk about right now. I'm only 9 minutes in. I want to try to get this finished I'm not even finished yet. Every year I do what we call spring cleaning. And I do it on my body. I told you I'm a chemist. I've tried everything. I've tried every kind of chemical compound, etc., to float out the sebum and other stuff that collects in my beard. In the past, I was able to, like the first time I went up to Maine, I had like a full 2 foot long ZZ Top beard. Wasn't having trouble because I was still using 300 to 800 gallons of hot water per day to heat and extract that fat sebum from my beard. And when I got up there, I realized that wasn't going to. You know what? Almost none of you, the typical American household with 5 children doesn't even use 300 to 800 gallons. And I'm using it in one bath just to get this incredible stuff that's meant to protect me from the Middle Eastern desert. I don't want that shit. I can see it. I can feel it with my fingernails and fingertips. I don't want it in there. And when you talk about you Jews talk about, you rabbis talk about payas, and think you Hasidim are the only ones. You grow those curly things. We here that are right on the border of that way is the wet line, this way is the dry line of Texas. I will get real. Long time ago, I actually started a trend in this country, over 30 some odd years ago, started to notice teenagers shaving their hair above their ear. Oh, it's a brand new trend. No, it's not. It's centuries old. It's to keep the hair off of your ear so that you're not constantly getting swimmer's ear and ear infections. I have less than 5 minutes left. There are many, many exemptions to God's laws. All 613, or if you're a Christian, it's like 615, 16, 17, depends on how you're counting it, 18. I told you I wanted to wear a mic because right now the wind's up to like 35 miles an hour. It's rocking my camera. I hear a train 20 miles away coming up from Mexico, probably carrying copper bales. I'm going to slow this down a little bit because I want you to feel what I feel. Nothing against Jewish law and smoking. And God actually commands us to drink wine every Shabbat, every Passover, Seder, etc. because it's an essential human nutrient. About an hour and a half ago when I started, it was this time was so easy because especially my head hair my beard hair contains all the colors of all the tribes of Israel. And there's no black in there. Okay? When I started shaving my head, it was so wonderful. It brought back memories that just touched my soul. My father was a German English Jew. I told you before about my mother. My mother had naturally curly hair, like Jewish women do. Very fine, but very soft and very beautiful. It didn't even start relaxing until she was about 60 years old. When she was younger, it was very almost tightly curled, and all she had to do was just bathe and rinse. And she was anyway. When I began to shave my head hair, it reminded me everything about my mother and father. Blue-eyed Ashkenazi Jews. I don't accept you Sephardics at all. Everything I've studied says that Sephardic Jews are not real Jews. You're Arabs. You're Arabs. You're not Jewish. You're Ishmaelites, not Israelites. And today it took me so few razors to go. I'm not even close to finish because I usually use. But I just would take a simple drag of the razor, and I'd end up with this handful of this beautiful, silky, soft, straight hair like my father, who was blonde like my oldest brother and like I was and like most of my brothers and sisters and stuff like that. My beard hair reflects, and the colors reflect my Jewishness and stuff like that. I have my father's Y chromosome, which almost never mutates. I'm almost at the end of this 15 minutes. I'm going to end it real soon. You're not me. You're a devolving human. You're going nowhere. I'll pick it up in the second episode.